Thank you, Professor Srivastav, sir, for once again. Well, so one thing that largely surfaces up now that the Buddhist middle path really helps us to make a balance between the extremes and lead a path so that we can have we can make a balance between the value system and the consumerist attitude on the one side. We cannot sacrifice any of the two, but the middle path can really help the modern world to make a balance between the consumerism on one side and the traditional values. So with this message, let us move to our admin, Professor Pramod Kumar Das. Please observations and comments. Professor Das.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. I congratulate Ms. Ankita Sharma for her beautiful presentation. She's a PhD scholar, but she spoke like a professor on the screen. I like her confidence, the way she presented her topic, her views. That is really amazing. She has delivered perhaps 2 or 3 talks here in this platform, but this presentation has become more mature. Thank you, Ankita, and you prepare more topics and come forward and develop your interest in philosophy. He made a synthesis between materialism and spiritualism. We can't avoid any one of these two possibilities. So far as Artha is concerned, that is our survival value. First we need to survive. That is the matter of our existence, the problem of our existence. So first we have to exist. So the existential value is so much important. Therefore consumerism is important. We have to know the art of consumerism. We have to know how to deal with materialism. Therefore she discussed 3 concepts which are very much necessary for our survival: Artha, Kama and Karma. We can't avoid all these 3 things. We can't avoid Artha, which is meaningful for our life. Anything that is required for our life, that is Artha. Wealth in a very broad sense. Anything. Our education is also Artha. Our social status is Artha. Anything that is required for our existence, that is Artha, and we can't avoid it. Kama means desire. Kama means attachment. Kama means pleasure, and that is also very much necessary. Even for knowledge also we need desire. We should have attachment. Sadhavana labhyata jnana. If you don't have Shraddha, we can't obtain jnana, we can't have any knowledge. So that cannot be avoided. And in the Bhagavad Gita it is said that karma is inevitable, that we can't avoid karma. We have to do karma. So Artha, Kama and Karma, they are very much necessary for our existence. But they are the means. They are the means. They are not the end of life, the ultimate end of life. If you take the survival value as the ultimate value, then we are not better than animals, because they also survive and they also need the survival values, and they compete for that. So if we do that, then we are not better than animals. Therefore we should have a sense of value, because our ultimate goal is moksha, liberation, freedom in the metaphysical sense. And if we shall make a compromise, then in the empirical sense we should have a sense of contentment. We should have a sense, we should have happiness, we should have a peace, we should have a peaceful living. So in that sense we can understand freedom or liberation. So anyway, that is the ultimate goal of life, and that is spirituality, because we have to transcend materialism. And she very beautifully explained this dichotomy of materialism and spiritualism by giving so many examples from the Upanishads and referring to Bhagavad Gita and Buddhism. She said that attachment and detachment should go hand in hand. Vairagya bhava should be there in the enjoyment. When bhoga and vairagya, they should go hand in hand. Because whenever we are being attached with anything, we should know, we should have the key to come out of that, come out of that bondage, come out of that cage. If we don't have that key, then that is bondage. If we have that key to come out of that cage, then that is freedom. So this, we should be attached with the sense of a detachment. That is tena tektena vanjita. That means enjoyment is not bad. Enjoyment is very much necessary, but we should have a vairagya bhava. And very beautifully she said that man is not an individual. Every individual is not an individual. It appears to be contradictory that an individual is not an individual, but it is not really contradictory. And she said that every individual is for the society. So any individual's aspiration for artha, kama, and karma, that that is for the society. So whatever an individual does and aspires for, that amounts to the welfare of the society. That is lokasangraha. So we therefore suicide is not advisable. Suicide is not good, because we can't commit suicide, because my life is not for my sake. My life is a asset for the society. Therefore, we should have that sense, and Bhagavad Gita has promoted this as lokasangraha. Anything that is the value paradigm. How can we define an action to be good? Any action that is good for the society, that is good for the whole community, that is good for the mass, then we can call it, we can value it as lokasangraha. So very beautifully Professor Prasad said that is the middle path, that we cannot go with the extreme end of materialism and spiritualism. We should follow the middle path, and that is called Sthitaprajna in Bhagavad Gita. That we should have, and that is also highlighted by Srivastavji. That is the discipline of mind. When the mind is disciplined in the proper way, one can follow the middle path. Otherwise, he will be biased by this path or that path. So, a stable mind, a sthitaprajna mind, a steady mind can follow the middle path. So, only Buddha can follow the middle path. So, one end, that is materialism, the another end, that is spiritualism, both should go hand in hand. And very frankly, Ankita admitted that she belongs to the belongs to the young generation, and she admitted that especially the young generation is running after consumerism in the material sense. So she is hoping for the good society, good future, and good generation. So even the young mass will have a very groomed mind and very good culture, consumer culture, she said, and that should be groomed with the sense of a value. And she is addressing to the young mass to be like that. So it is very inspiring. It is it's very good. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Ankita, and thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Das, for your observations. Well, taking all these things, well, what Professor Das could get is the knowledge of the extremes. We cannot avoid the extremes, but only a balanced mind can have the knowledge of the extremes, but at the same time take a course to the middle path. So the middle path is not that easy. It requires a complete balance in the mind, and that balance, okay, that's so important in this modern world, and this is how the Indian traditional system can guide us to how to, you see, as Professor Das could clearly mention that artha is required, so it has a survival value. The existence is so important. So, so the materialistic culture on one hand and the traditional values, both are essential, but a balanced mind, after all, is the vital key which can really guide us to be on the middle path, and that is not that easy, and that requires a lot of application on the part of an individual, so that the individual becomes not an individual, but it becomes a human being for the human